שיבתו תשבתו ונחמתו באמירם ביד מה ואמרו אמן על ישראל ועל בנם וכל תלמידיהם וכל תלמידיהם תעסקין ואותך תשתע דיבר תרא עבדים ודין וכל אתר ואתר יהיה לנו ולכון שלמה רבה חמלה וחסדה ורחמנים קדם יראה שמיה וירא אמרו אמן יש גם רבה משמיה חיים וסבא לישוע ונחמה ושזבה ורפואה לגאולה וסליחה וכפרה ורווח הצלה לנו וכל עמו ישראל ואמרו אמן ועשה שלום על כל עמו ורחמה ועשה שלום עלינו על כל עמו ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Amen. Chazak Baruch. Good evening, Rabbi. Let's talk a little about the Leila Seder. What we're supposed to do. We already talked about the Kedikat Chametz. What we're supposed to do in the morning. We're supposed to burn it, and then, as we said, we have to get ready for the Seder. So, how does a person get ready for the Seder? Good advice, is to sleep a little bit. Why? Because you want to be up, late night. We're going to be up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning probably. So if you get a little nap in the afternoon, that's really good, especially the children, because we want the children to be up. So if the children don't take a nap in the afternoon, what's going to be is that they're going to go to sleep 9, 10 o'clock. They're going to miss the whole thing, So this is the reason why it's a good idea to give a nap to the children, especially, because they can't stay up that late without a nap. So then what happens is, right, that there's a takana, the rabbis made a takana, that you shouldn't eat matzah on Erev Pesach. Massot. What's the reason why? Because you should eat it with te'avon, with hunger, with desire, during the Leila Pesach, during the Seder. So if you're going to eat it in the morning matzah, in the afternoon matzah, you're not going to be hungry for matzah anymore. You already ate. If you filled up your stomach, what is it going to help you anymore, right, to do that? So that's the reason why. So they made a takana. Don't eat matzot that day. So the whole day of Erev Pesach, from the morning until we do Yochlum Tochlum, which is the Seudah, Alachilat Matzah, we don't eat matzot that day. The Ashkenazim, they have a different custom. They don't eat matzot from Rosh Chodesh, until Leila Seder. 2 weeks they don't eat matzot. I guess they really want to feel the matzot, So they're making sure that they feel it really, really good. So they do 2 weeks. We're not obligated to do that, to do 2 weeks. That's what they do. Everybody has their own custom, right? So that's the thing. So you cannot eat matzot. So what do you eat on Erev Pesach? You cannot have chametz. It's already too late, right? Chametz is asur. You cannot have matzah. So what do you have? Have some chadi, something with corn, something made out of rice. You can have rice, rice dish, some plate of rice or something, That you can have, no problem. Things like this, kitniot. You can have some dairy stuff, cheese, things like this, and all kinds of stuff. Eggs, eggs. I'm sorry?
Leil Seder, who's eating cheese?
Leil Seder, dilas. That day, the whole day, talidre. You're right. So that day, you have to eat something, right? You can't stay hungry all day, right? Unless you're bechor, right? You want to do, right? The truth is, the bechorot also, they do mix masechet siyum, so they try to get out of it. This way they don't have to fast all day, because it's hard. If you fast all day, you're bechor, you're firstborn, you're going to have a hard time getting to the Seder, until 11 o'clock at night. And to eat then, to fast all that time, it's going to be really, really hard. So that's the reason why we do the Masechet Siyum, or somebody makes a Siyum in the Bet Knesset, and we come, and whoever's bechor eats over there, and this way he gets out of it. So the question is like this, right? Once he makes the Siyum, comes to the Bet Knesset, does Siyum, he gets out of the fast, okay. But what about if he goes home? Can he eat over there also? That's not siyum anymore, right? The siyum was in the Knesset. That's not called siyum anymore. So can he eat also at home? So the answer is yes. He says in the Chazon Ovadia, he writes that even though really the siyum was only made in the Bet Knesset in the morning, but since you allowed it, since it became mutar, it's mutar all day. This is what we say. Why? Because it's only minhag, this tanit. It's not really an obligation according to halakha. It's minhag, so because it's minhag, we're mikkel, we're more lenient, We're not so machmir about this. So therefore, right, if you made the siyum in the morning, you heard the siyum, you can eat all day. So what do you eat? As we said, right, rice, chadi, something like this, some corn, some rice, some oilit, that's kind of dairy, yogurt, I don't know, God knows whatever things, eggs you can have, Also they have, right, this is a very funny thing, but I have to tell you, right, I have to share it with you. There are these cookies that they make in Israel. Called paposhado. You know what I'm talking about? This is a very famous thing in Israel. Over here, maybe people don't know so much about it, but they probably eat it anyway. Because all the stores, they have it. All the Sephardi stores especially, right? The Bukharian stores, they have it, and all the Sephardi stores, they have the paposhado. What is paposhado? These are cookies that are made out of matzah ashira. They're made out of like matzah flour and wine, or something like that, right? Grape juice. So it's matzah ashira. So that you're allowed to have Erev Pesach, matzah ashira. You cannot have regular matzah, white matzah, right? Lechem oni, you cannot have. But matzah ashira you're allowed to have. So therefore you want to eat those cookies, buy them, go to the store, right? Go to Romanov over here, probably he has it, I don't know, some people over here, they have it. Paposhado from Israel. You buy those cookies, those are really good. You know why? Because they fill you up. They make you feel like, you ate something. Like a So it's good, You can go all day with that. It's like, you had some mezanot. So it's really good. This way you didn't eat matzah, you didn't eat chametz, right? You're good. Everything is nice. So those are good to have, like on Erev Pesach. This is the best time to have them. Also, the truth is you're allowed to have them on Pesach as well. You know what I mean? No problem, right? It's not only for Erev Pesach, those cookies. You can have them all Pesach. But Ashkenazim, they don't eat them. Why? Because Ashkenazim, they don't eat matzah shira on Passover. They don't eat, right? So they don't eat matzah shira, but we do, So we're allowed to have on Pesach those cookies and also egg matzot, Ashkenazim, they don't eat egg matzot on Passover. So why they make it? In the store you go and you see, right? Manashevet, egg matzot. Why they make it if they don't eat it? Because they allow for like older people, like senior citizens, pensioners, things like this. They allow. Or for children, for sick people, they allow. Only for somebody who's healthy and good, don't eat it. Don't enjoy anything, right? On Pesach. That's what I tell you, right? So they don't allow it for most people, but for some people they do. This is the reason why they sell it. This is also matzah shira, egg matzot, because they make it out of eggs. They don't use water, you understand? This is the thing, right? So we're allowed to have that on Erev Pesach, and also on Pesach also as well. No problem, right? But the only thing is that don't eat it for the alachilat matzah, because matzah shira, you don't fulfill your obligation with matzah shira. You have to have lechem oni. What's lechem oni? No taste, right? It tastes like a stone, like Evan. No taste, no nothing. No salt, no sugar, no spices, no nothing. Zero, right? Everything.
When you say matzah shira, it means that they have taste?
Right, ashira means that, the ashirim eat it, the rich people eat it, it's fancy people, That's the thing, that's why it's called ashira. Yeah.
So why this?
Oni is what? For the anim, Ashira, rich guy, he can afford to have matzah with sugar and spices and honey and all kinds of good stuff. This is the idea. So we're allowed to eat that, but not for alachilat matzah, this is the thing, right? But otherwise you're allowed to eat it. What's a bracha on matzah shira? Mezonot. Right? When you eat those cookies, you don't make hamotzi on that. It's sweet. Really, So you make mezonot, But for the egg matzot, it's a different story, right? For the egg matzot, it tastes like real matzah, So it's a machloket over there. Some people say it's mezonot, some people say it's hamotzi. There's different minhagim about that. Whatever, anyway, the point is, right, that the Ashkenazim do hamotzi on egg matzot. The Sfardim, most Sfardim, they do mezonot. Just to let you know, right? Okay, so you have what to eat on Erev Pesach. You know what I mean? You got what to eat, right? No problem. There's no lack of food. You want to eat something? You want to get yourself ready for this? You can be ready. Also, another thing, which is right, that when you start the Haggadah at night, when you start the Leila Seder, first of all, number one, what we do is we go to shul and we say Mincha in Arabit. What time is it going to be Mincha? 6:30? 2? Right, so the truth is, that it's better to push it. You know why? Because you're supposed to make the Kiddush at night. It's supposed to be night, so it's better to push it a little bit. You shouldn't make the Kiddush before Tzedek Kochavim.
We're supposed to start today also Mincha 7 o'clock.
Ah, really? Is that true?
Yeah, but we discussed it with the Rabbi yesterday. But okay, maybe...
Whatever. Okay, we'll talk about it. Anyway, the point is, right, that when you do Mincha Arvit, Leil Pesach, what happens is that afterwards, the custom by the Sfardim is to say Hallel, the whole big Hallel, with the bracha and everything. Hallelujah, the whole, why do we do that? This is according to Kabbalah, because this was the time of the Geulah. So, this is the reason why, that's right, this was the biggest Geulah that we ever had, the Jewish people. Leil Pesach, So therefore, according to Kabbalah, you're supposed to say Hallel, big Hallel, that night. I'm not talking about the one you do in the Haggadah. That's something else. That's a different thing. But there's also minhag to say Hallel in the Bet Knesset. You know what I mean? This is the beginning of the Sephardim. The Ashkenazi shuls, they don't say Hallel on Leil Pesach. They don't say. Yeah. You know who does? The Hasidim, they say. You know, most of the Hasidic minyanim, they say. Why is that? Because they like us better. They like Sephardim better than Ashkenazim. You know? They prefer us over their other brothers. So this is the right there, and they like our minhagim better. So this is the reason why they took it from us. You know, this minhag. You know, because the Ashkenazim, they never had such a custom like this. We do this according to Kabbalah. Also, I heard, you know, the Gaon of Vilna was Ashkenazi, you know. He also liked this custom, you know. Why? Because Gaon of Vilna was Mekubal. He was Kabbalist, you know. Kabbalist, you know. So he understood Gaigo, you know. He understood that with Bonen Bazeh, you know, that it's a very important thing according to Kabbalah. So he also told his Talmidim to say, you know, Hallel Pesach. So we have the Talmidim of the Baal Shem Tov, you know, the Hasidim, they also say. Also the Talmidim Gaon of Vilna, they also say. You know, so when it comes to this, they agree. Everybody agrees, right? That so who doesn't say? All the other Ashkenazim, they don't say. You know, there's also many other minyanim, right? They don't go according to Baal Shem Tov. They don't go according to Gaon of Vilna. They do according to the customs of the Ramah, the Ashkenazim. You know? Yeah, Litayim, yeah, basically that's what it is. Yeah. So they don't say Hallel. That's not their custom. It's okay, you know, whatever, right? But the truth is, you know, Maran, he was so strong about this minhag. You know, usually. Maran, you know, Ravadia, he never talked about Kabbalah too much, you know, very little, you know, just whatever is the minhag. But here he was always telling people, make sure you say Hallel, you know, on Leil Pesach, big tikkun there is in that. Not only that, he used to tell to the women also, right? Can you imagine? The ladies at home, they don't come to Beit Knesset, right? So he would tell them, before we start the Haggadah, make sure all the ladies also say Hallel. He would tell them, you know, he would tell them also to say it at home. Ad kedei kach, you know? Like we do, same thing. Like we do Beit Knesset, same thing at home for them, you know, with the bracha and everything. Can you imagine that this is the only time, by the way, in the year that the women say Hallel, you know, because otherwise all the other Hallel, they're not obligated to say. You know, there's no obligation for women to say Hallel. It's only for the men. You know, so but this night everybody says, right? That's the thing, you know, according to Sephardi minhag. So you should, according to what I told you, you should tell your wife, you should tell your mother, your daughter, whatever, you know, say Hallel. If they're, you know, if they know how to read it, whatever, you know, whatever. Not everybody knows how to read, you know, these women, some of the women don't know how to read so good. You know, so, okay, we do the best we can. Okay, whatever, so that's the idea, you know, so make sure you say Hallel. So then once you get home, and you said the Hallel, so let's talk about a little bit about the Leil Seder, right? First of all, they say, you know, you should start promptly. Don't wait too much, you know, like, you know, hanging around and talking, you know, all kinds of nonsense, you know, start right away. Why? Because it takes a long time, you know, it's a long process. It's a long ceremony, you know, so if you start 9 o'clock, 9:30, it's too late already. You should be starting like 8 o'clock, you know, why 9:30? What's the reason why? To start so late, you know? You just lost an hour and a half, and you're going to finish very, very late. And it's no good, you know, when you start late, you finish late, you know, that's the way it is, right? Everything goes according to the beginning. You know what I mean? So there's no reason to wait so long. Tzita Kochavim, or 8 o'clock is right, Tzita Kochavim, so you should start 8 o'clock, no later than that. Why, for what are you waiting for? For Mashiach, are you waiting for? What do you, right, so what does that mean? They should make sure that the table is set, especially this year, right, because it falls on Shabbat, so you cannot cook on Shabbat, you know what I mean? So that means everything has to be ready before. You know, the zroa, you know, this, all the cooking, you know, the eggs, the dinner, you know, the seudah, the fish, whatever you're making, everything has to be ready before. You cannot cook. This is not the regular Pesach. This is Pesach Shabbat. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful about that. Make sure everything is ready. You know. So that's the one thing, right? Make sure you start on time. Another thing, important thing to know is right what we need for the Leil Seder. What do we need for the? First of all, Maran used to tell us, you know, Rabbi used to tell us the most important thing on the Leil Seder is to read the Haggadah for the family and to explain to them what it means. This is the biggest mitzvah. Mitzvah taseh, right? V'igata lebincha. It says, right, in the pasuk, tell your son about this, what happened, you know, this great day, this great salvation that we had. Tell your son about it, right? Whether your son is chacham, or, you know, tipesh, or he's stupid, or he's dumb, or whatever he is, right? Regular guy, he's amaretz, whatever he is, doesn't make any difference who he is. Tell him anyway, whatever he can absorb, tell him. You know, that's according to his level, you know, teach him according to his level. If he's chacham, your son, you know, so teach him deep, you know, amok, you know, the deep stuff. Get into the deep stuff with him. If he's not so big chacham, teach him regular, just teach him regular. Give him a nice, short and sweet, as they say, right? Don't go too crazy with him, because he's not going to understand you what you're talking about. He's going to say, Abba, what are you talking to me about? These things, what is this? I never heard these things before in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. So you have to go according to the son, the level of the son. That's the thing, right? Whatever your son is, go like that. So you got to, but this is the thing, that the Maran used to tell us that we're transmitting here the Massot, the tradition of Yetziat Mitzrayim to our children, which is a very important thing. Because if you don't do that, the generations will forget about these things. They won't remember. So this is the time now, to transmit the Masorah, the tradition of Judaism to your children, this night. Don't miss it, Don't now think about other things, and think about just eating and drinking, and this is that, right? This is not the main thing. The main thing is to say the Haggadah, explain it to them, make sure they understand what you're reading, explain it to them, translate it to them, whatever it is that they need, right? Make sure they got it, they got something there. Otherwise, what's the point, right? If they don't understand what you're saying. Just reading, blah, 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 blah. What does this help anybody? Does it help anybody just to read like that? Abadim ha'inu, abadim ha'inu. Your son is talking over there, with his friend. Abadim ha'inu. He doesn't even know what you're talking about. This is not the way to do it, right? Make sure your children...
Today, every paragraph has translation in any language.
Right, exactly, that's it, so there's no excuse. That's it, right? You want Russian, you got Russian. You got English, you got English. You got all the languages today, right? You got Georgian? Georgian, Ari Georgian? Ari Georgian? Georgian, Ari?
The Georgian?
Haggadah.
Yes.
Okay, whatever, right? Okay, there is. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Zachinu. Yeah, there is. Yeah, probably there is. I've seen it. Okay, so whatever, right? Whatever language you speak, Persian, whatever it is, right? Make sure you say it to your family in the language they understand. That's one thing, right? Tanjulo Badaskna, yeah, that's it, right, exactly. I'm sorry? Any language you said, you fulfill the mitzvah. Doesn't matter, any language. But just make sure that your family understands what you're saying, That's the thing, right? Otherwise, what's the point, For you, okay, you understand Hebrew, but they don't understand Hebrew. So, make sure that they understand it also, I understand. Okay, what about them? Egoist thing, that's no good. That's not the way it should be, right? You gotta make sure everybody gets their portion, mana, what I'll tell is mana miros. Portia. That's the idea, right? So, let's go over the besamim, right? All the things that we need, all the substances that we need, the foods that we need for Leila Seder, right? So first of all, number one, again, right, we said the Haggadah is the most important mitzvah. The Haggadah Bincha. But then we have also Achilat Matzah, right, which is also mitzvah Taseh min Torah. It's from the Torah, to eat matzot. On Leila Pesach, it has to be matzah shmura. So what does that mean, matzah shmura? It was guarded from the time that it was reaped, from the ground. Special matzah that you buy in the store, you get ripped off, and pay double the price. What can you do, right? That's what it is. Right? Baruch Hashem, the Jews are making good money. Everybody's making good money, everybody's doing good business. But the point is, right, you got to do the mitzvah, so make sure you buy a good, nice, matzah shmura, and enough for everybody, the whole family, that everybody should get a kazaite of matzah shmura. Not to give them matzah from a box, for this mitzvah. For this mitzvah, the box is no good. You know what I mean? Don't give them box matzah from, this aviv, this thing. Matzot Yehuda. This is not what you need for that. You got to give them a matzah shmura. It's going to cost you a lot of money. Okay, well, it's whatever. Baruch Kadosh Baruch Ham. You know what it says, right, in the Chazal. The Chazal say, whatever you spend for Shabbat and Yom Tov Kaidre, Kadosh Baruch Hu returns you everything. Get a complete refund you get. So what do you care, Whatever you spend, Hashem is going to refund it to you. You're going to get a full refund. So spend more, when you get more, so you get more back, you get a tax return, it's good, what do you care, Just like the IRS gives you a refund, Kol Sheken, right? Hashem gives you also a refund. What do you care, right? Spend a lot of money, don't go for it, go for broke. Spend a lot of money. So make sure you got matzah shmura for everybody. So the thing is like this, right, that we need 3 kazaite of matzah for each person. First of all, for Allah Chilat matzah, you have to have at least 1 kazaite, right? Better to have 2, but at least 1, right? We say at least 1. Then we're doing the kricha, the hillel, the sandwich. So here we got another kazaite. And then we're doing the afikoman at the end of the meal. That's already 3, right? Number 3. So you need 3 kazaite for everybody. So you need to have, a good amount of matzah. And also you got the next night, right? Leil Sheni. You have to have another one, same thing, right? So again, right, you should have at least 2 boxes of this, matzah shmura. Yeah, now 1 box probably will not last you.
Yeah.
Unless you have a very small family. I bought 2 kilos, Baruch Hashem. Our friend over here, Dr. Emil, he brought me the soft matzot from Israel, Baruch Hashem. I like the soft matzot, like pita, You like pitot? Get soft matzot, this is the best, right? That in the Talmud, it says over there that the matzot were soft, so that's the way it was in the old days. What's in Shoni Mamba, baby? Our forefathers used to eat soft matzot. So if you want to get a taste of the history of what it was in the old days, buy the soft ones, those are really, really good. And they're much lighter on your stomach, they don't give you stomach ache, kwasari throws oh man, sits in your stomach like a stone. This one is light, it's like a pita. Beautiful, it's nice. I've been buying it already for more than 10 years, 15 years already, this soft matzot. And also, Maran, he always ate soft matzot. The Iraqis, they don't eat nothing else, only soft matzot they eat. So that's it, right? That's the only thing. That's the only thing on the menu for Iraqis and Temanim, people like this. They don't eat anything else. There is a question, by the way, if the soft matzah is kosher for Ashkenazim, because Ashkenazim, really, the truth is that they never didn't have this custom to make matzah soft. They used to have a custom to make it hard. By the way, what's the reason why they make it hard? You know why? Because they like to burn it, like good, because this way for sure there's no chametz there. That's why they like to make it hard. But this is really like a chumrah more, like it's a chumrah. And, so the truth is that there are some chachamim who say the Ashkenazim shouldn't eat the soft matzot, because it's not the custom of the Ashkenazim. But the truth is, it's not nachon. No such a thing like this, in the halacha, that you cannot have soft matzot because you go to Ashkenazi, whatever, No such a thing like this. Anybody who wants to have soft matzot can have soft matzot. You know what the difference is between the hard and the soft? How do you make it soft? How do you make it soft? You have to put more water. That's the thing, right? Less flour and more water. That's how it becomes soft. Just a matter of ratio. That's the thing, right? It's no big secret. There's no big secret over there. Whoever knows how to make it, they have a tradition. They know how to make it good. Baruch Hashem. It's very, very good. Okay, whatever. But anyway, the point is, right? Whether you're having hard matzot or soft matzot, make sure it's shmura. And make sure you eat kazaite when the head of the household says Allah chilat matzah. Make sure, right, that you have a kazaite. How much is kazaite? About 1/3 of a matzah. Like a round one, for sure kazaite, right? No question about it. Right? Yeah, right. But the truth is, you should have a little bit more lechatchila. Try to have like 50. You know why? Because the rabbi said try to have 2 kazaite. So since they said have 2 kazaite, try to have like 50 grams. So the truth is, that there's difference.
It's half matzah?
Huh?
It's half matzah?
I said 1/3, shlish. Shlish, right. Meshulash, like a pizza, Slice of pizza, right, meshulash. 1/3 matzah is definitely for sure it's kazaite, no question about it. So the truth is, let me explain to you something, that there's a few tricks over here, The rabbi said, try to have 2 kazaite. Why? Because when you make hamotzi and lachilat matzah, you're holding two breads. The bottom one you dropped it, right? With dawarda. You dropped the lower one, and then you said Allah chilat matzah. So what happens is you have to take a kazaite from each one. That's lechatchila. Try to do it this way. So here's the thing, right? That according to Tosfot, how much is kazaite? Half an egg, right? Which is about 27 grams, as you said. Right? That's according to Tosfot. But according to Rambam and Rif, kazaite is like 19 grams, much less. It's 1/3 of an egg. So therefore, since this is derabanan, you can rely definitely on the Rambam and Rif, So therefore, if you have 50 grams of matzah, yatzai dechovah, even according to two kazai, no problem. So you got 50 grams, you're good, right? So try to have at least 1/3 matzah, and you're good with that. That's fine, right? Same thing with the kricha, right? Another kazait, and also afikoma, another kazait. That's the thing, right? By the way, kricha and afikoman, this is derabanan. It's not doraita. So you can be a little bit more leimekel. You can be more lenient, a little bit more lenient. You don't have to have 2 kazait. 1 is for sure enough, So like 25 grams is enough. That's it, right? 30 grams for sure, right? 100%, right? No question, right? That's the idea. So it's only derabanan, afikoman. But the poskim say afikoman should also be matzah shmura. Don't use box matzah for afikoman. Since it's a mitzvah, the rabbis made takana. If you have left shmura matzah, use shmura matzah. If you don't have left, okay, use whatever you have. What can you do, right? But if you have shmura matzah, you should use it and try to buy a little bit more because why should you use regular matzah for that? That's not the proper thing to do. That's the thing, Okay, so this is regarding matzah. Then we have maror, right? So the truth is, the Chazal, the Talmud, they bring over their Masechet Pesachim 5 different species which are called maror. Right? So the first one is chasa. What's chasa? Romaine lettuce. This is the best one, the Talmud says, right? So I'll explain to you why that is, right? Then we have other ones, right, which is like chicory and endives, and then there's the chren, right, the Ashkenazim they use, So the truth is, the chren is the worst out of all of them, according to the Talmud. What's the reason why chren is the worst? Because it's very, very bitter, and it's not really the proper experience for maror. I'll explain to you why that is. So then why do the Ashkenazim use it? That's the question, right? The chren. Why do they use it? The reason is because probably they didn't have romaine lettuce in Europe. In those days in Europe, they didn't have a lot of things, They were very short on supplies. So because of that, they probably didn't have romaine lettuce, so they were using maror. Or there could be a different reason, which is that the romaine lettuce requires to be checked. You've got to check it for bugs, So Baruch Hashem, today we have that kosher romaine lettuce, which is grown in the greenhouse. Has a kosher stamp on it and everything, So you should buy that one. Because otherwise you got to check each leaf, like Ashen Jones, in the light, it's not so easy to do that, It's a big headache. So one time I remember I did this, when I was younger, when I was in yeshiva, and I was checking, each lettuce. I was checking like 2 heads because I was having guests coming over. It took me like 2-3 hours, to check 2 heads of too much for me, It's a big headache. So go to Wasserman and go to, what do you call it? Kisina Boulevard over there. What's that one? What's the store called? Aron's. Like, go over there, buy some kosher one, This way you don't have to check it, just wash it, in the sink. And you're good to go, right? That's the idea. You don't want to have any problems with that. So the truth is, Rabbi Aaron told me something interesting. In Chabad, what they do is, they know romaine lettuce is the best one, But the custom, the minhag of the Ashkenazim is to do chren, So he says what they do is they do put both together. They put a sandwich, Romaine lettuce and then put chren inside, So I told them, I said, not for me, I'm sorry, but for me, romaine lettuce is the best, Because I'll tell you what the problem with chren. The chren is like this. You're supposed to eat a kazaite of maror, just like matzah, right? Kazaite, which is like, as we said, 27 grams. Right? So can you imagine eating kazaite of chren, 27 grams? That's right. So you can't, very hard to do that. This is the problem. So this is the reason why, you don't want to get involved with this. So the question is, right, why is chasa, romaine lettuce, the best one out of all of them? So they say, first of all, right, there's a remez in the name of the vegetable. Chasa Kadosh Baruch Hu Aleinu, right? He has mercy on us. Chasa, he had mercy on us. This is mercy. Chasa Aleinu, right? That's one thing, right? It's a remez. But also, there's another thing. Why romaine lettuce is better? Because they say it reminds you of the galut of Mitzrayim. Why? Because when you eat the chasa, right, on top, it's more sweet. As you go to the bottom, it gets more bitter and bitter, That's the way it was in Mitzrayim. First, when Yaakov Avinu came there with Yosef HaTzadik, they respected us, gave us a lot of kavod. And then all of a sudden, when all the brothers died, the Shvatim, all of a sudden they started to make us into slaves, So little by little, it started sweet, and then as we went to the bottom, started to get more bitter and bitter. So chasa is the perfect way to remember the galut of Mitzrayim. No, not chren. This is not the best way. So I know that, in Georgia, we used to use chren. I remember also, my family also. But, now, since we have romaine lettuce, there's no reason to use it. That's the thing, right? So you can put that aside, right? No problem. Don't kill yourself. Don't commit suicide. Okay. So that's one thing, right? Also, arba kosot, right? With big mitzvah also. But this mitzvah from the rabbis, arba kosot. Not from the Torah. But very important, right? So what kind of wine should a person buy for arba kosot? First of all, it should be red wine, right? Not white, because white wine is considered to be inferior in halacha. White wine. I don't want that. So this is the reason why. Try to use red wine, If you want to eat grape juice, you can use grape juice, no problem, It doesn't have to be alcohol. There's no such a thing like this in the halacha. You have to use something with alcohol. No. Anything that comes from the grapes, grape juice, no problem, As it says in the Gemara. What does it say in the Gemara? A person can take eshkol shel anavim, a cluster of grapes, squeeze it into the cup, and make kiddush. This is the way it is, right? So this is the way it is also for Arba Kosot, same thing. It's also kiddush, right? The first cup you're making is kiddush. So it's the same idea, you know what I mean? Also, let's do our beat. I don't want to keep you too long, but another thing also I want to tell you regarding the Arba Kosot, right? How much do you have to have for each kos? So the truth is that according to Halacha, 3 ounces is enough, 3 ounces, which is about 85 cc's. It's a small glass, like 2 times the shot glass. Shot glass is like 1.5 ounces, 2 times shot glass is enough, So you don't have to have 5 ounces, 6 ounces. Some people make, 12 ounces, this is too much because he's going to get drunk, right, Trevor, That's he's going to go to sleep, you know what I mean? It's not good. Chacham ena berosho, you know what I mean? Don't be too foolish like this, too strong, too pushy, Do everything according to sechel, That's what, drink 3 ounces, and this is good, This way you're going to be still, alive, at the end of the Haggadah, right? You're still awake, This is the thing, right? Maran, when he was older, he didn't drink wine at all because, his body couldn't tolerate it. So he used to drink grape juice. This is what he did, So whoever doesn't enjoy wine, he doesn't want alcohol, he doesn't want to get drunk, especially a woman, whatever, or a child, let him eat grape juice. What's the problem? There's no issue with that. Lechavchila, you can have grape juice, no problem, right? So this is the way it is, right? What about nebushal? Not nebushal, right? So the truth is that according to Rambam, it's not supposed to be nebushal, right? The Arba Kosot. That's not supposed to be cooked, the wine. But Shulchan Aruch doesn't pass like the Rambam. He passes like the other Rishonim, the Rosh, and the others that say you're allowed to have nebushal. So therefore the halacha is, if you want to have nebushal, you're allowed to have nebushal. You know what I mean? So even if it was pasteurized, right? That pasteurized means that it was cooked. That's what it means, pasteurized. Pasteurized wine, it's called nebushal. So therefore, right, if you want to have something like that, no problem, If you want to be machmir and have not nebushal like the Rambam, just make sure you have no goy around you, because if the goy takes it, right, pours it, it's going to be nesach, so it's going to be asur. This is according to Kabbalah. We don't fast like that, right? Yeah, we don't. No machmir kul.
Only if you touch it.
Right. If he picked it up, and poured it or something like that, you know what I mean? Otherwise, it's not. So if you looked at it, no problem. But what I want to tell you is like this, right? That there is a wine in Israel called Ramat Golan. All the wines that they make over there, they're not mebushal. There's 3 different types of wines they make, right? Gamla, Golan, Yarden, all those things they make in the Golan Heights. They make it over there, right? Yeah, they're not mebushal, these wines. So if you want to have not mebushal, buy this wine, right? Gamla, Golan, Yarden. Those are the ones that they're not mebushal. It says on the package that they're not mebushal. But make sure you have no goy around you, right? Because if you have a goy, you get messed up.
You want to tell me this wine is, when they process this wine, there is no goy in this area? How it's going to be?
The goy is not touching the juice. You know what I mean? This is the thing, right? I don't care if he looks at it. What do I care if he looks at it?
Process from the beginning to the end, you want
Yeah, they have Jewish workers. Yeah, Baruch Hashem. All Jewish workers. Yeah.
What if the Jewish is not showing?
But let me tell you something, Shalom.
Is the same thing?
I'll tell you a secret. No secret. The secret is like this. Today, nobody touches the wine. Not goy, not Jew. Nobody. Because it's all automatic. You understand? It's all automated. So most companies today, the big companies that make grape juice, like Welch's, I called them up one time. I told you guys about this before. I called them up and asked them, I said, does anybody touch the juice in your company? He says, no, nobody, they told me, nobody touches it. Everything is automated. So nobody touches it over there. So according to this, Welch's grape juice is kosher. By the way, one time it used to have OU Welch's grape juice, 25 years ago. It used to have OU. Now it doesn't have. I guess they're not paying the money. I don't know, whatever it is, right? It's the same juice that it was before. Nothing has changed, right? But they're not. When you don't pay, you can't play, right? That's the way it is. Right? If you want to play, you got to pay. That's the way it is, right? Otherwise, you're not going to get extra. So that's the way it goes with the wines. But the truth is, when it comes to like small companies, wine companies, we're not really sure if everything is done there, by hand or by automate. We're not really sure. That's why we're machmir. We don't want to drink the wine of a goy. You know what I mean? But when it comes to Welch's, which is like a big company, $1 million company, they don't touch that. Nobody touches that stuff. Everything is automated. So you know what they told me like this. I'm going to do Arabic. What they told me is that the last time somebody touches the grapes over there at Welch's is when they take with a shovel, like this, grapes, They throw it into the tub. That's it, you know? So is that yain nesech? I ask you. The answer is no. You know why? Because when he's touching it, it's grapes still. It's not juice yet. It's not wine yet. You can all touch grapes, no problem. Let's say, you go to the store right over here, 108, right? You buy some grapes, some boy touched it, right? What becomes yain nesech? No, it only becomes yain nesech when it's yain. But if it's grapes, the boy touches it, no problem. It's still fruit, you understand? So, just want to tell you one more thing, right? When does it become yain? What is the point? The Talmud says, when does the juice become yain? You know when that is? First you have to take the juice out, you have to squeeze it, the gautzos. You have to squeeze it out. But if the skins, the husks are still left there, it's not called yain yet. Until you remove the skins. Once you remove the skins, now it's called yain. But before that, if the boy touches it, it's kosher. This is the thing, Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen, amen. Rabbi Hanania ben Shomel, Zikot Baruch Hu, Zikot Yisrael, לפי כך ירבה להם תורה מסור שהמלך חפץ, למען צדקו יגדיר תורה וידיר.
תודה שמרבה, תאמר ברקע לותרא, אנחנו כותב עצמו, הוא כנראה כשקט. איך היכון, ואיך היכון, וחרד לכל בית ישראל בעגלה בזמן קרעי, ואמרו אמן. יש לומר רבה מברך לעלם לאמן, בנו ישתבח בתמונה, מתנשא בתודה, ותודה ותעלה ותעלה שמות הקודשו ברוך הוא, לעילם כל בכתה, שירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, תאמרן בעלמה בן גאון, נעל ישראל בריבונם, הכל תלמדי, תלמדהו, תעסקין, ואורתה קדישתה, דיבר תרמדים ודין בכל אתר, ויהיה לנו, ולחוקינו,